All right, I'm taking a look at problems 965 and 966 in lesson 9.3.1. It says, what if the inequality has two variables? So we're going to take a look at graphing a equation, and this equation is in slope-intercept form. So you'll need to set up a graph, whether it's on paper or in Notability like this. And I'm going to go ahead and use the equation to graph the line, okay? So y equals negative 2x plus 3 is what we're graphing, okay? So I'm going to plot the plus 3 first. Remember, that's our y-intercept. Let's go with a different color because that's not showing up. Let's go a little darker. Okay. Perfect. So that's where my plus 3 is. On my y-axis, that plus 3 from the equation is my y-intercept. Now my slope is negative 2 over 1. So that means I'm going to go down 2 from that starting point and right 1. So that's my next point. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to go down 2, right 1. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and plot one more point going down. And then I'm also going to plot one going up from that starting value. So to go the opposite way, I would go up 2 and left 1. Okay? So those are the points that I plotted. Now, I want you to think, are those the only points I could plot? Those are not the only points I could plot, right? Anything that would follow that same pattern would also be a solution to this graph. So now I'm going to do the best job I can of connecting these in Notability. And making a line. Okay, not too bad, I guess. All right, well, that's pretty crooked, but I'm going to have to deal with it. Okay, so this is the line. Now, if I wanted to know if a point was on this line, I could test it in the equation, or I could look on the line on the graph to see if it's there. But remember, it's a solution for the equation if it falls on the line, okay? So like this point way down here is not a solution to this graph, okay? We're going to look at 966 now, and I want you to compare that equation we just graphed to the equation I'm writing. Y is greater than or equal to negative 2x plus 3. Now, is that line any different? The only thing that's different is the inequality symbol, correct? Which means this has more than just the line as its solution. So whenever you're graphing on a coordinate grid for a two-variable inequality, if it has the less than or equal to sign or the greater than or equal sign, your line that you graph is going to be a solid line. Okay? If you have the less than symbol or the greater than symbol, the line is going to be dotted, okay, and not solid, because it's not going to include what falls on the line. That's the first part. The second part is to find where else the solution would be. So the solution can be above the line or below the line. So I always test 0, 0, and that seems to be a good point here to test because guess what? 0, 0 doesn't fall on the line. So if I put 0, 0 in here for y and x, 0 is greater than or equal to, when I put 0 in here, I get 0, 3. Is that a true statement? Is 0 greater than or equal to 3? No, it's false, which means 0, 0 is not a solution, okay? 0, 0 is not a solution. Okay? Which means anything that's above the line should be a solution. So let's test a point that's above the line. I'm going to test 3, 3. Okay? Hopefully that makes the inequality true. So I'm going to change colors here so we can see this one. So I'm testing the point 3, 3. Why am I testing it? Just in case I made a mistake. Okay, I don't want to go ahead and shade if it's going to be wrong. So I'm going to put 3 in for y. 3 is greater than or equal to, now I'm going back up to that original equation. Now I'm putting 3 in here for x. So -2 times 3 is -6, and -6 plus 3 is -3. Is 3 greater than -3? Yes, which means everything above this line is going to be a solution. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be shading. Okay, so that means I should have extended this line a little bit further. Let's go back to the purple. This line should be going the whole way up my graph and should be going the whole way down my graph. And then when I go to shade, everything that's on the top side of this line, getting as close as I can to the line, is going to be a solution. So you would shade in this whole area. Okay? So when we graph an inequality that has two variables, we have a lot of work to do. We, one, have to graph the equation. We have to tell whether or not the line is going to be solid or dotted. And then we have to test points to see if I'm shading below or above the line. If you think you got this, go ahead and try the next problem that's assigned. I will be making another video with another extra practice problem if you're interested.